Hello and welcome to the Lincolnshire Buzzcast, a podcast where we take a real-life humorous look at life in Lincolnshire, as well as interview some amazing people who are doing some fantastic things in the county. I'm Lizzie.
I'm Danny.
And I'm Hannah. Coming up, Lizzie ponders if she's going to meet an immediate demise after eating some mouldy cheese.
Hannah tries to convince me to dress as a fish in an up-and-coming Renaissance fair.
And we've got Hannah from Heritage Links telling us about the exciting things coming up over summer.
Hello and welcome to the 12th episode of the Lincolnshire Buzzcast. I'm here with Hannah again. Hello, Hannah.
Hello, Elizabeth.
The duo today, aren't we? So we are without Ellie today.
We are. Dynamic duo. Yes.
To our detriments, as you'll find out in the interview later on, listeners, that without a third person to rein us in, gets a little bit weird.
Little bit, a lot.
Something to look forward to, listeners. Something to look forward to. But I'm going to prelim today, actually, because what I want to talk about is the fact that, so this last week, I finally got back in the pool. Now, I love swimming. Lane swimming at my local leisure centre. I absolutely love it. I could swim for hours. I'm confident I'm part fish. But I haven't, for one reason or another, I haven't been able to go. Our leisure centre has opened back, but it's opened back with sort of restricted times. Those restricted times are very much in the work time, so I haven't been able to go. So finally, because of a change in hours in my husband's schedule, I got to go at the weekend, and oh my days, it was such a release just to jump in the pool. I savoured every moment because I'm not quite sure like how regularly I'll be able to go and all that kind of stuff, but I savoured every single moment. I absolutely loved it, just jumping in, even though it was absolutely freezing, as it always is in the first time you jump in the pool and you go, oh, why do I like this again? But I love it. The only thing that lacks for me is I would quite like it if our leisure centre played like music out, because I think that would help like with the swim.
No, you can get earphones now, can't you?
Can you?
You can get waterproof earphones. So
I don't know if I trust it.
I know, I'm scared of it electrocuting my brain. I'm not sure I could.
Well, I'm probably less scared of it electrocuting my brain and more scared of the fact that what's the longevity of them? Like, how much will I have to pay for those that water will eventually ruin them?
I have no idea, mate. I have no idea. I've not done any research in it. I just know that they're there.
Oh, what are you doing? Come to me with this idea.
Well, you're the researchy woman, so you go off and research it.
I'm the researchy woman. Yeah. I don't think I've ever been called that in my life.
But yeah, I'm proud of you, to be fair. I'm really proud of you because I think there's a lot of women out there who've maybe put on a few pounds during lockdown, and men as well. That we've put on the lockdown poundage, and in terms of like body image and stuff like that, I've spoken to a lot of people that are genuinely worried about getting back into physical activity because of the judgments and things like that, and they've got wobbly bits where they didn't used to have wobbly bits and things. So I think you're a pioneer. Like, boom, pool's open, let's get in.
Well, I'd like to point out for anyone who is suffering from that it wasn't easy. So like I have put on some extra weight, but I was carrying some extra weight before we went into lockdown as well. So I've put on extra weight on top of my extra weight. So there was that bit of worry, I think, of going in, because there is that I don't want to call it the walk of shame, but it does feel very much like the walk of shame when you have to walk in and get in the pool and out again, because you do like when you're swimming, you do watch people coming in and out, like it's your eyes automatically drawn to the new person entering the pool space. Like it is.
I mean, how do you swim to be looking up like that? Are you one of them that has a crane?
I'm a breaststroker.
With a head out of the water, don't get my hair wet. Is that you?
I'm happy for my hair to be wet. It's not that at all. In fact, so that's one of the first things I do is go in and get my hair wet, because I like how it fans out in the water.
Oh, you look like a mermaid.
I do. But no, it was that. And I do, when you do the walk, I do feel like all eyes are on you. They're probably not, but I do feel like it. And I do feel really self-conscious because when you go into the pool, you're not exactly going fully clothed, are you? All my thighs are out for the world to see in there. horrific wobbly glory.
You're essentially wandering around in front of strangers in your underwear.
Yeah, and then, you know, I'm assuming as they're swimming along, they're like, is that thunder? No, it's Elizabeth's thighs entering the vicinity. I do have that feeling that is what's occurring, but it's short-lived. Like, it is short-lived. So I feel like I feel immense horrifyingness when I go in there. But as soon as I'm in and swimming, I feel like I'm doing something about it almost. So, like, I mean, and so it does feel better in a way for it. So I did enjoy it. I do love swimming, and I saw my old drama teacher was there when I went swimming, so I had a nice little chat to him. Who I do act with now still in my dram, so he's part of that group. So that was quite nice. It was very well done as well in terms of like the COVID restrictions. So you went in, like it was the first time I went in, and obviously they've been doing it for a while, so they're not used to explaining what it is. So it was like I was shrouded in mystery to begin with. So it was like I walked in and they were like, "You are black 4," and I was like, "What does that mean?" I thought maybe this will become clear.
Oh my god, it sounds like it was something like Hunger Games that you were going into.
So they've split the changing rooms in. They're not male and female anymore. So they're split across, but they're like, so like each cubicle is like a black 1, red 1, black 2, red 2. So like when I went in and there was like 1 to 4 this way, I was like, God, this is what this must mean. I'll go to where 4 is. And then like, and I was like, okay, there's a black 4, that must be me. And then it was the same for your locker and things like that. So because they have 2 sessions, they must do like red in the first session and then like black in the next one. Yeah. And then like deep clean at the end of the day, I'm assuming. And then you can only have like 7 people in each lane and stuff as well. So it was very, I thought COVID procedures were great. So anyone who's like worried for that kind of thing, hopefully that puts your mind at ease. I don't know if all leisure centres are doing this, but no. Brig Leisure Centre certainly is.
Yeah, mine were different. Mine was Meridian in Louth, and they're a little bit different, or they were. I haven't been for a while because of like restrictions and work and that kind of stuff. They did it where you sort of like queued up, where you had to still go dressed. This is when I sort of last went. You had to still go dressed, and you went in with your towel on and stuff like that, and you had to disrobe at the side of the pool. Like there was no changing rooms to get changed, but you were given like your own chair, and it was a socially distanced chair at the side of the pool, so you didn't interact with anybody else, and you literally went. It was like, do you remember when you were a kid and you used to walk into your school assembly and you had to go in lined up, and then you had to sit down in your lines? It were a bit like that. You just sort of went in, sat on your chair, and then disrobed in front of everybody, and then jumped in the pool. So there was no walk of shame.
What happened on the other end, though? Like,
so on the other end, you could get out. Yeah, you could get out, and you could use a. Sorry.
But for listeners wondering what that noise is, Hannah's dog is desperate for her to throw a stuffed toy.
Yeah, it's his new zebra. He loves it. Sorry. He's trotted off now. It's fine.
You ever get a shout out in the podcast?
Yeah. Totally forgot what I was talking about now.
At the end, how you get changed.
Yeah. So you get out
re-robing.
and re-robing. You can. What a word! You could go into a changing room, like literally just to sort of pat yourself down, kind of thing, and. Obviously, because we discussed on a previous podcast that I were doing like open water swimming and wild swimming and stuff. I got one of these. It's so cool. I recommend anybody getting one. It's like a poncho, but it's made out of towel material. And you literally just slide that on, put some baggy trousers on, and hey, presto, get in your car and off you go. Like, nice. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. So I really liked that because it was literally like you were at the side of the pool.
No walk of shame.
Yeah, no walk of shame.
I like it.
It's just one fell swoop of clothes off and in.
Is it still like that now, or do you reckon you're in the black 4?
I bet system? It's like that now. I've not been actually recently, but I bet it's like that now. That you're going to be able to get changed and stuff again, aren't you? Because I don't know, have restrictions that everything's open properly now. Changing rooms are open. I think so,
because gyms and stuff are open now, which brings me on to. So when I was swimming and feeling good about doing something about my thighs of thunder, your rats decided to drink us all at the same time. It's all going up in your house.
Oh my word! Right, guys, don't have animals. Do not mix animals and podcasts. It doesn't work.
I'd like to point out that mine's being really good next to me today.
Oh, Dexter's fast asleep, snoring. It's just Pip who's decided he wants to play zebra, and then Ivy's decided that she's not had a drink for 3 days.
Well, so I want to join the gym now. I've never joined the gym. I've never been a gym person. But so listeners might remember that me and Hannah tried to do couch to 5K. not that long ago. There's a reason we've not re-mentioned it again, because even though we were feeling the wonderful elationness of being able to run outside and do something good, I injured myself in the second week, so I needed about a couple of weeks for that injury to recover. And then I injured myself again on a different activity, so I needed that. So I've very much fallen out of the loop. And my fellow asthmatics might be with me on this one, that running in the hot heat of the summer makes my asthma worse. So it's just not the right time for me to take up running, because it would not be a good idea. I want to finish it though, so I'm thinking I might try it again in the autumn when the weather will be a little bit better for me. Because I think, and if I become a gym person, I'll be much fitter, so I'll be able to cope with it.
Person. If I become that category of person, that superior person who is a gym person.
Well, I looked into it, and because the reason that I'm struggling to swim and all that kind of stuff is because of like the timings and stuff like that, because it doesn't really work for anyone who works full time. But like gyms are open till like 9 o'clock at night, so I can work that in, I think. And I think, you know, you can do that with your headphones in as well. So like, I think I'll enjoy like the music element, like put some really, you know, rocky theme tune on whatever on repeat. It's going to make me feel like I'm doing something really good.
I've got visions of you with rocky theme tune.
Because I'm very much motivated by music, so I think that'll be good as well. But also then with the membership, I get to swim whenever I want, and you get to go to the classes and stuff as well, which is cool, because I could be able to do yoga, which is on an evening, which should be really nice. So I think I could get on board with this. I want to give it a whirl anyway, because I just need to think, for me, I really want to, like, you know, body image is really important. And if you are really happy with how you are and you've got no health issues at all, then crack on, like, amazing. But I'm not happy how I am. And I want to change that. The problem is, I really love food. Food is delicious. I find diet's really hard for that reason, because it makes me miserable. However, I think I can up my exercise, because food's fine as long as you are exercising offsetting it with exercise. And that's the problem. I've been enjoying the food and not offsetting it with exercise. So I just need to find the exercise that I'm going to really enjoy to offset that, and I'll be fine. So I'm going to give gym a whirl, because that sounds weird. I'm going to give the gym a whirl. And see how I get on. So, you know, strap in, listeners, because join me on this gym journey, and I'll let you know how it goes. So for those of you that are maybe wondering about, like, gyms, is that the right thing for me? I'll let you know, because I'm very much, if you're sat there and you've not really exercised very much, you're gloriously unfit, and you've got lockdown pounds on your pounds, then follow this journey with me. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to the gym. I've done the gym thing and it doesn't suit me. So I suppose I'm coming at it from the opposite perspective. That I've tried it. I just get bored on a treadmill looking at a wall, and running's not for me. I'm not a runner. I'm not built for running. And you
I've
are
tried.
A walker, and your
I
lifestyle.
am a walker, yeah.
Your lifestyle does so you've not got kids that you have to be like home for, and you can't, like, I couldn't take my kids on like a 2-hour hike, because it'd be
2 hours. 2 hours. That's a mild one for what my other half gets me doing. I nearly died the other week.
But yeah, he'd be moaning in the first 20 minutes. So like, it'd be like, you know, so it doesn't really work with my lifestyle. But your lifestyle is very indicative, and it's wonderful for your well-being as well, isn't it?
Yes, so
double hit.
That's my
and your dogs.
What is it? What are we going to call this? A mid-year resolution? So I'm doing more outdoor. I've always been outdoorsy, but I think, you know, life got in the way. Life happened and stuff, and I stopped being as outdoorsy, and COVID and all that stuff. And then because of COVID, realised that we could actually go back outdoors and stuff. So I am now going to be more outdoorsy. Obviously, I discussed that I was going to take up wild swimming, which I have done, and I've developed that now. And I'm now doing paddle boarding, which I absolutely love, and it's getting rid of my bingo wings. And doing more walking, because, one of the dogs likes to go on, I'm not going to say it, on W's. One of them doesn't. He likes the sofa. The most broken border collie known to man.
Well, I think that's the thing, isn't it? You just have to find the exercise that works for you, that fits in your lifestyle, that works for you. Swimming is mine, but it doesn't work right now, because it's not the timing. You usually can do lane swimming in an evening, which is when I used to go do it, and that's not available yet. So it's finding what you enjoy and something that you can actually stick to, because it's a lifestyle change, isn't it? So it's got to be something that you can keep up and enjoy doing. Otherwise, it's always going to be like a chore.
Yeah.
So it's got to be something. So I think you've got to try all these different ones to find out what your thing is, and then do that. And your thing might not be exercise; it might be the dieting or the food you like. So then maybe that's what you do.
No. But I like cake.
But yeah, you're rather like me. Like, so I've just, before this podcast, I've just eaten a delicious cream cheese bagel because I love them. However, I might have accidentally eaten a mouldy cream cheese bagel because I like it so much. So my cream cheese had mould all around it, except for the corner that hadn't been used yet that looked deliciously fresh. So I thought, that's fine. I'll just eat from that corner, pop it in the bin then, because I've got no cream cheese to eat. And otherwise, what am I going to put on my bagel? Butter? No. And then eat that. But it had there was no mould on it, I assure you, listener. But I did feel like I could taste the mould towards in certain elements of the cheese. So I don't know if maybe the aroma of the mould has seeped into it.
Does mould have an aroma?
I don't know. So now I'm a little bit worried that this could be my last podcast because I'm going to die.
You're not going to die, but I mean...
It's one way to lose weight, I guess.
Yeah.
Food poisoning.
I mean...
No, can I just disclaimer this? Don't lose weight by giving yourself food poisoning on purpose.
Yeah.
It's absolutely not advised. It makes you really poorly, very dehydrated. It's definitely not the way to go.
No, definitely not. But yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if maybe it's a psychological thing that you've got it in your head that it tastes like mould, because what does mould taste like? You don't know what mould, unless you eat mould on a regular basis. What does mould taste like?
I have accidentally, like when you've got bread and it sometimes is a little bit in the corner that you've not quite seen and you've bit into it and you're like, oh yeah. So everyone's accidentally eaten mould at some point. And actually that's a good, most people I guess who's got the funding that I have, if your bread loaf starts to go mouldy and you can just cut the crust off. Most people do that, I think. Is that most? Do you do that?
Yeah, I've done that. I have done that in the past, although I did read somewhere that, I mean, this is going to worry you even more. So, listeners, next week we will have another podcast associate on, because Liz is going to be dead. But I did read that, when, and it was bread specifically, when you have mould on your bread and you cut it off, you're not actually getting rid of it because the spores are still there, and they are still around. So just because it's actually showing on one corner of your bread doesn't mean that it hasn't been infiltrated by mouldness.
Oh no, I've given some of that to the kids before.
Yeah, but it's good, isn't it? It'll boost their immune system. It's like eating dirt, isn't it, when we were kids?
Again, listeners, we're not saying eating mould is good.
Or dirt, or worms, or whatever it is that you eat. But, what did they do in olden days? Like, I'm pretty sure that food goes off quicker now than it did 10 years ago than it did.
I don't know. Well, I think they made their own bread back in the olden days. There was none of this sliced malarkey.
Yeah, maybe they did, yeah.
From the shop. They made their own, didn't they? That probably doesn't go off as fast. Which actually brings me nicely on olden days. So when I was it was my wedding anniversary this week. And I went a lovely little walk with the husband. And as I was walking through the wilderness of the wolds, I was like, do you know what I would like to do? I would like to learn about nature and foraging, and the herbal remedies that you could do. Yes. So I would like to be that person that when someone's like, oh, I've got this thing, I'll be like, let me just get my mortar and pestle. What is it? Yeah. It's not mortar and pestle. Pestle and mortar. Let me get that ball and the stick out and grind you a remedy. I know. I'll just nip out to the woods and get some stuff and then that's cool. Like, so when the apocalypse comes, you want to know that kind of knowledge, don't you? Like,
yes, I am going to join you on this journey. I think we should team up. Oh my God, this is it's a new podcast being born right now. Because I genuinely believe in this. I believe in herbal remedies. I believe in natural remedies. I suffer from urticaria, which people know as nettle rash or hives, and all of the medical sort of, I suppose, medicines, whatever I've been given from the doctor has not worked. And I decided to switch over to herbal remedies, and that has cleared it up. I have little relapses every now and then, but the herbal stuff gets rid of it within a couple of hours. So, like, I am a massive advocate for this, and the allotment has so much stuff. Like, I'm growing chamomile, I'm growing fennel, I've got mint so that I can make some mint tea and stuff.
Oh, mint is taking over my garden. It's like a plague.
Yes, it is.
I'm not using it as much as I clearly need to be. The mojitos clearly haven't happened, so...
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to bring you some. I'll bring you some into work next time you're in.
Mint, I've got enough of that.
No, well, I've got some strawberry mint.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's amazing.
I'm growing strawberries and I'm growing mint, but I'm not growing strawberries. Do I need to put them next to each other and then that makes strawberry mint? Like, do they seep into each other? Like mold on a bread?
Let's not talk about the reproduction of plants. You don't just rub them, they don't gyrate against each other and you get strawberry mint.
I don't know if maybe being in the stratosphere, the strawberries will get because obviously you can smell mint. You can tell when there's a mint plant around you because the air smells minty. So I didn't know if being in the vicinity next to the mint makes the strawberries have a bit of a minty aroma.
Well, I mean, no? I will tell you as I progress through my horticulture studies, but I'm pretty sure that...
Let's get a botanist on and get this sorted.
Yes, we do. Any botanists out there, horticulture specialists, please tell us.
If you put a strawberry next to a mint plant, will it be a minty strawberry?
A minty strawberry or a strawberry mint? Which one is it?
Oh, yeah.
Well, maybe that's how they did it in olden days. They just rubbed plants against each other and hoped for best. But talking of olden days, shall we move on to our guest?
Absolutely.
She's old. God, that sounds horrible.
Just to clarify, our guest is from Heritage Lincolnshire, so she'll be talking about all things heritage in Lincolnshire, thus olden days. Not that she's old. She's actually very young. We loved Hannah. Enjoy.
And tonight we've got with us Hannah Thompson from Heritage Lincolnshire, and she is the business manager there. So she's going to tell us all about the fun things that are coming up this summer.
Yeah, we've got absolutely loads going on, actually. So thank you very much for having me on, and so I can let you know what Heritage Lincolnshire are up to around the county throughout the summer. I don't really know where to start.
Well, I guess first things first, as business manager, why don't you tell us what business Heritage Lincolnshire is in?
Well, to be honest, we're a bit all over the shop. So Heritage Lincolnshire was formed to be a buildings preservation trust. That is the main reason why we are here. We were set up in the 80s, and that is the reason why we are about still. But we do have many other strands to us now, as well as a commercial archaeology unit. At the moment, they're on 2 exciting sites in central Lincolnshire, which I can't name for legal reasons. And they've actually found that these are late Iron Age settlements, and they are finding some absolutely amazing stuff. We've had an Iron Age brooch, a quern, all sorts, absolutely all sorts. Don't ask me what all they are, though. That's the thing. I'm not technical in archaeology at all. So we have a commercial unit. We also have a lot of heritage expertise. So we actually have a consultancy service. We also have an education service now where we do community digs. So we've got one coming up in a few weeks' time at Heckington Manor. Where you can go along and actually do a community dig, do some geophysics work. So that's what
get the brushes out and the trowels and all that.
Yeah. And then you can walk around with the geophys equipment, which again, don't ask me about that. I'm not good with that sort of stuff. But you can go along and find one of our team. Actually, he can remember playing in the Heckington Manor yard when he was a small child with the owner's young son or whatever as a friend, and he's hoping that they find his buried super trooper when they do the event. They're really looking, he's like dying to know that someone's going to find his super trooper that they buried probably about at least 25 plus years ago in Lizi Manor. So we're waiting for that story to finish. We're hoping we find it.
It'd be a nice happy ending, that reunited at last.
It would, wouldn't it? It would.
Yeah.
So we do all sorts. We've also got our latest buildings preservations project coming to a very, very close end, which has been a 2.5-year transformation of the old King's Head in Curtin, Boston.
Yes.
And we are due to open it as a cafe and a 9-bedroom B&B with a community room. We are so close to opening it. So we're also going into that, and also holiday lets as well we're going into. So we've got loads of stuff going on at Heritage Lincolnshire, which is really, really exciting at the moment.
Oh my days. There is so much stuff to unpick in that. So many things. For instance, the first things that jumped to my mind was I really want to push you on them legal places that you're not allowed to name just because they sound exciting. Not buying.
No, I can only say Central Lincolnshire.
So, yeah. I'm going to say, if you go on, I'll give you a bit of a plug here. Archaeological Project Services. If you search them on Facebook, they do give you Finds Friday, which is all the bits and bobs that they have found throughout the week on the digs and on the sites and stuff. So if anybody is interested, because you're an archaeology geek like me, then please do follow APS, or Archaeological Project Services, part of Heritage Links.
Yeah, it's so exciting at the minute because we're actually, some of the Heritage Links team are going along to see the APS team on site in the next couple of weeks so that we can actually see it ourselves, and it is really exciting. And there is actually some information on our website as well about the digs, because there's some great drone footage overlooking the settlements, and it's amazing. And we just, each day we find something different, which is really fascinating. So we all get very excited.
Proper time team, like
it is. Yeah,
is there lots of people around with fantastic jumpers, like
wow, funnily enough, one of the trainees she had an absolute amazing jumper on the other day, and actually we posted it on Facebook again, and a lot of people was like, heads up, that jumper's amazing. So yeah, some of the team do wear.
Amazing. Also, I'm intrigued to know, so this guy that works for you that wants to find a super trooper, did he engineer the whole dig just to find that lost toy?
He's not
actually heritage there, or is he like, I think there's some stuff down there just so you can find the lost toy?
You never know. But funnily enough, it's one of our trustees that's bought the property, so and he lives in the village, so you just never know. But no, to be fair, Matt has not been involved, but he's desperate to find his super trooper. Every time we bring up the Heckington Manor archaeology day, he's like, oh, please someone find it, and I'm just like, oh my god, if somebody finds it, it's just going to be amazing, isn't it? It's going to be a brilliant story.
It better be in one piece. I hope they don't find it and it's like everything's missing. Yeah, beheaded. So tragic.
We found the remains of your super trooper.
Yeah.
He's not all there though. His winning smile is missing.
Yeah. How do we sign up for these then? Because I'm already like, so what's the website?
When's the website? So they're all on our website. If you go under events on the website, everything is detailed on there. But if in doubt, pop us an email over to htladmin@heritagelincolnshire.org, or give the team a call on the number, the 01529 461 499, and the team will be able to help you.
Awesome, I'll be there.
Hanna will be there. I'm actually quite concerned that you might need to actually remove her eventually, because she might be more likely to outstay a welcome, if anything.
Yeah. I'm setting up camp, that's it.
You'll get a call. There's some crazy Yorkshire lass digging everywhere. We've got our own tools.
I'm going to bring my own toothbrush. I'm going to do everything. And that's for digging. I don't mean actual like brushing teeth. I don't brush my teeth on my toothbrush and then go in my back garden and start digging stuff up with it. I have two separate toothbrushes.
Oh, brilliant. No, I think it should be very well supervised. Don't worry. If that's possible by the sound of it.
I'll be at work on Monday going, everyone going, where's our teacher? Oh, she's in a field digging up something.
I'll take them all. We'll go on a dig. We'll go on an away day. There we go. It's good fun.
How are you relating archaeology to sport, out of interest?
We might find some bones. There we go. Anatomy and physiology done.
And to be honest, that was one of the things I had to get used to when we were obviously in the office at the old school. The archaeology team were in the back of the building. We're in the front. And the amount of times I used to walk out the back door and there would be bones and all sorts. It was a bit weird. It was a bit, yeah, it took a bit of getting used to. But you know, that's what they find,
that, isn't it? What did you do today? Well, I came face to face with a skeleton.
Yeah, I mean, 9 times out of 10 they're animals anyway.
Yeah.
But you know, it's still fascinating what they find. Sometimes the team, they do an amazing job. They really do.
So, what's the best thing that you have? Well, not you personally, I assume, have dug up.
I haven't dug anything up because I haven't even been on a community dig myself, which is one of the things that I have got to do. But obviously with COVID, it's just been a nightmare to get out and about. To be fair, we did a lot in Boston in 2019 to do with the Boston Hansa, and we did a big community dig, and they found some amazing stuff on that. They tried to find the old Hanseatic warehouse, and they found some bits and bobs on that, which were absolutely fascinating. So just things that stay in your mind that you remember. I mean, one time we have a Monday morning meeting with the team, and you sit around the library table at the old school in Heckington, and one day they did bring round, and it was whole, this Roman pottery. I can't remember where it was found, but it was pretty much, this bowl was in perfect condition.
Wow.
Absolutely perfect condition. Well, you know, it's just, I suppose we were lucky on that dig, but you know, I mean, they were pushing it around the table for everyone to look at. I was like, I'm so clumsy. I was like, do not let it anywhere near me. I said, can you imagine? I pick it up and smash it. I could just see it. So I was like, oh, that's really nice. And I was just like, just pass it on.
Just imagine that moment that, oh wow, this amazing piece of history, like has survived so many years and years of change in the world, and we've finally found it in all its whole beauty, and they pass it over to you and you're like, wow, this is really good, and then put it down and miss the table.
No. So yeah, I was just like, no.
So many years until this
and then it got into the hands of me, so I was like, no, I'm not even touching it, just pass it along, it's really nice, lovely. But no, there's been some cracking finds over the years, and yeah, I do like putting up the finds Friday when they send me them over, but they send me them over and I'm like, I have no experience, and I put my hand up to them. I said, look, I've got absolutely no knowledge on that. So I'm like, please just tell me a bit more about it. So I'm not actually just posting a random picture going Finds Friday and having no clue what it is. So
but you must have learned loads as a result. Yeah. So I remember when I used to work at a dog rescue, and a similar thing, I had to get the team to sort of tell me what to do so I could post out and things. The amount of knowledge I gained about dog training and all this kind of stuff, and dog psychology and everything, just from like having that conversation so I can share the knowledge elsewhere, was unreal. So you must be like picking up loads.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, I've been with the trust now about 2.5 years, and I mean, I'm not from a heritage background, I'm not from an archaeological background, hence business manager. I've picked up so much, and the fact is, the organisation as well, they put so much into you. They really help train you and giving you that knowledge.
Have you been working from home then?
Yeah, we're pretty much all working from home. We can go in the office a little bit now, a bit more so, but to be honest, you know, it's working really well that we're remote. We are starting to have more face-to-face events though. We had a couple of weeks ago the Grantham Trump cards launch event at Grantham House, so that was so nice. Very, very small, I think it was about 15 people, 16 people. But oh my God, it was so nice to see real people again.
Really nice, isn't it?
Yeah, to actually socialise with, not just bump past people in the supermarket. It was actually nice to be social with them. Wasn't allowed to touch them at that point though, so I didn't get him in. Didn't hug anybody or anything. And then
I'm not a hugger, so I've enjoyed this.
You're going to enjoy it then. Yeah.
Caveat on no hugging.
Social distancing before it was cool. Yeah.
I've enjoyed this. No one else, people did just tend to come up and hug me because apparently I look like a hugger, but I'm not a hugger.
You're not. That's fair enough, isn't it? But yeah, so it was really nice to see people actually in the flesh. And we also did the Bolingbroke. Now I always say it's the dragon egg hunt as well a couple of weeks ago. So we're
actual dragon eggs. Are they doing?
Yeah, Charlotte has some very large golden eggs that she likes to hide around Bolingbroke Castle ruins. So it keeps the kids entertained and they enjoy it. So that's the main thing. But she usually obviously does it at Easter.
So is this an exclusive? Have we got an exclusive here? Charlotte is a dragon.
No,
She's got
no,
a nice
they're not
dragon.
her. They're not her eggs.
Well, I mean, we've had Charlotte on this podcast before, and she didn't have wings that I
No,
recall.
she didn't. No. Maybe she was hiding them. Maybe she's a really nice, like, you know, like Pete's dragon. Pete's dragon's really nice, isn't he, Elliot? He's a nice dragon. Maybe Charlotte's a nice dragon, and she's just got these eggs that she's hiding from us.
But maybe our guest Squirm, at no point, like I reiterate, at no point did she say that Charlotte is a dragon. No one believes she's a dragon. Hannah without a H is very much.
We have to differentiate now.
Two Hannahs, it's hard. Hannah with a H is our guest. Hannah without a H is our host.
Yeah,
and she's dragging Hannah with a H down with her.
brilliant. Yeah, no, she's I can clarify. She's not a dragon. She just has a dragon's eggs to hide every year. Make of that what you want.
I think that's amazing. I wish I'd known that was happening. My daughter is obsessed with dragons, so we
do it every year. Do it every year at Bolingbroke. As I say, usually it's around Easter time, but unfortunately, obviously, COVID was around in Easter, so the restrictions were still in place. We couldn't do it, so we pushed it back, and we've just done it this half term. It's just gone. So yeah, we like to do as much as we can at Bolingbroke because it's an absolutely fantastic site as well.
Yeah. We
got
went there, didn't
Bolingbroke
we, based on Charlotte's recommendation.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I went with the dogs. Nice walk, nice picnic spot and stuff like that. And I think, Lizzie, did you go or you were planning on going?
I was planning to go, but usually, as what happens with me, whenever I book a week off, it's the rainiest week in the year. It promises you sunshine when you book it in, and then it rains solidly. So all our wonderful outdoor activities that we had planned that week had to change.
Yeah. Well, we have got Bolingbroke Back in Time coming up in August, which is over a weekend. Obviously, we scaled it back to what it was going to be because it was supposed to be last year. But there's going to be loads of reenactors and things like that. So that's possibly something you should go along and have a look at.
Yes.
There'll be
That
loads
just speaks
of
to my love of both history and drama, I think.
Yes. Honestly, Lizzie, I've been to a reenactment before and it is amazing. Like, we went to it was like, I don't know, King Richard kind of reenactment thing, and I think it was at Harewood House or Harwood House, if you pronounce it properly, whatever. It was something like that. And then we saw some jousting. We saw some real life jousting. Like, it's all these reenactment days, amazing. So anybody who's listening, go to that one. Brilliant.
Yeah,
I need to get involved with reenactment, I think, because I obviously do a lot of Amdram. I love that, and I love history, and I love actually watching. Like, I love watching all the Regency era, everything. Like, so it'd be the chance to dress up in some olden day clothes and
Lizzie, we can go together.
My
we
dream.
can get outfits and everything. Yes, let's do it.
My dream of running around in a wonderful olden days time. So I need to get on board with these reenactment people. Where are they? What are the numbers? I'm going to go all in.
Come along to one, see what it's about. As I say, this one will be scaled down because obviously with everything it's still a little bit dubious. Yeah. But next year we're coming back even bigger. So we're going to do it again next year as well, which will be just hopefully massive and just taking over the whole site. But no, they're really good fun. And the thing is, we do encourage people to come along dressed up as well, which is really nice.
You don't need to encourage us. We're
no, I don't think no. I'm getting that impression.
It's an interesting sign of the time, really, though, isn't it? Because obviously we're having to be quite adaptable. And I guess to date this recording, this is the on this. I don't even know if he's done it or not, but Bozza is doing his announcement tonight, isn't he? Or has he already done it?
Imminent, is it not?
Imminent.
I think it was
with.
Was it 5-6 o'clock-ish that he's planning? I'm just having a quick Google to see if
usually
I
late
can update you on that. Yeah.
With obviously the announcement that things are getting delayed back. So I think we are in that. I think we're used to it now in a weird way. If this happened last year, everyone would be absolutely hysterical not hysterical, but everything would be like, ah! But I think we've got to a weird time now that we're just expecting it to occur. So this obviously announcement's only come out tonight, but we've sort of prepped for it weeks ago because we just assumed it would be happening, or everything is getting planned with a question mark. Yes, this is going to go ahead potentially. And we're all just used to living in that vague world where I might go if it happens, to the point that it's weird now, isn't it? We are just used to that, flexible. time. Yeah, and it's not had that impact this time, I don't think. I was expecting it.
Yeah, the nice thing is that we've started to do a lot more digital events as well. And actually, you know, the people that we've spoken to aren't just in Lincolnshire. We've got supporters all over the county now. And actually, we've had people like from America and France and all sorts who've got connections with Lincolnshire, have come on these digital events and actually, you know, supported us, which has been absolutely fantastic. And we're carrying that on as well. So I think there's definitely going to be a mix of digital and face-to-face for the foreseeable future, because I think digital has found its place.
Absolutely, which is an interesting bonus, I think, from the pandemic, isn't it? It is,
yeah,
because we would never have done that beforehand. We would not have. It wouldn't have been something that we even dreamed of. But obviously, we were forced to do it, and now this hybrid notion that everyone is sort of talking about is a thing. We at the foundation, something similar. We run conversation classes where we teach local people how to speak English better. So, but we did it in a digital, virtual way. They are free classes and stuff, but we opened it up basically on the digital world, and we've had people from around everywhere taking part that we never would have gone to before, that I've really found the value in it and all. And it's just something that we just wouldn't have considered, which is just bizarre. But I think it's an exciting world, I think, as a result, to see how this is going to work.
It is. I mean, we've got Heritage Open Days coming up in September, as always, the annual festival. And previously, you know, we weren't allowed to do anything digital. Everything had to be face-to-face. You had to open your doors up, that kind of thing. Whereas now, again, they are taking this approach of actually, let's have a mixture of all of it. And we're kind of hoping that does stay as well, because, you know, there's some places that perhaps can't open because their building is unsafe or whatever. So actually it's another way of them showcasing what they've got and actually trying to encourage people to support them, especially these community projects that need that support and need that funding. You know, actually that is another way of letting people know and actually opening up the doors to them, but without actually letting them in. So I think it has certainly been, it's invaluable now.
It is. And I guess it's not only sort of conquered, obviously, geographical distance where you are far away from people, but also there's a lot of people that the notion of going to like a big event with a lot of people in causes a lot of anxiety, and they don't want to go to that kind of area. So it opens up the world a little bit for them as well, which is just a wonderful thing, really. So it's been an awful year, well, over a year now, isn't it? I'm not counting.
Is it? What day is it?
Not counting. Don't want to count, but I think it's sometimes nice to think about the things that we've learned from it, and I think that's a massive one, that there is there's a place for digital, which is wonderful for all digital marketing people out there that have
brilliant for you. It's useless for us that are technophobes
coming to their fruition all of a sudden.
Well, Hannah, I've got. I'm going to revert back to the archaeology stuff, and you're going to cringe. Of course I am. So I'm a bit of an archaeology geek. Over here. I'm not. Well, that's what my question's going to be. I remember walking into my first archaeology lesson. I did archaeology at A level because I'm an absolute geek, and I remember walking into that lesson, and our tutor pretty much didn't even let us get his bums on seats. And he said to us, "Look, if anybody here wants to be Indiana Jones or Lara Croft, there's the door. Get out. Archaeology is not like that." And I thought, oh my word. I had visions of me being...
from doing your braid, taking off your hot pants.
Oh, no. Oops, how did I get these cargo pants on this morning? But what you described was we were sat around the library table all together having our briefing. I'm like, oh my God, it's a scene out of Indiana Jones. What on earth? So I want to know, have you got a favourite archaeologist? Because you said that you've learned quite a bit over a couple of years that you've been involved in it. Have you got a favourite, even if it is Indiana Jones, Lara Croft, Tony Robinson? Who's your favourite archaeologist?
What, a famous one?
It could be someone from work, to be fair.
I can't even pick my favourite out of the team from APS because they're all absolutely amazing. They really are, and their knowledge is unbelievable.
Is that because one of them might be listening to this and you don't want to offend anyone?
No, wow. Probably get in trouble anyway because I'm talking about archaeology when I don't know anything about it. But no, it's nothing like this Indiana Jones stuff either. Because I must admit, I've watched the films after I've kind of been involved with Heritage Lincolnshire. I'm like, oh, there's nothing like it. And the team do have cartoons on the walls, and some of those are about the kind of the cartoons type jokey stuff of actually like it,
Yeah.
so
Usually
they're not running through traps all the time and and in perilous danger on a day-to-day basis.
I don't think they're running from their lives every day. So I think we're safe. So
there's definitely no dinosaurs running around free and stuff like that. You've not got any paleontologists on your team that want to be the next Dr. Grant.
If you're looking for a paleontologist, my 5-year-old son is available. He's got a really cute interest.
Oh, that's cute though. That is cute. But no, I don't even think we've ever done anything with dinosaurs. So the team might actually ask me that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lincolnshire, isn't it?
There's got to be some dinosaurs in Lincolnshire, surely.
Maybe.
Why?
There's got to be a footprint. There might be a fossilised footprint somewhere that we can capitalise on.
Maybe if there's not been one found yet, it's yet to be found.
Yes, and me and Lizzie are available to go out and find that. We are quite happy to be in high vis in the pouring rain looking for dinosaur feet.
You're available. I'm busy doing the reenactment in my fancy Regency dress going, where's my husband?
No. Well, maybe we could do Through the Times. Maybe we could do a reenactment, like a condensed reenactment, and we could go right from. We could dress up as a fish. I'm currently reading You're in a Fish, okay? This is a really good book.
I get with this, mate.
Honestly, look, hear me out, mate. Right? So You're in a Fish is a fantastic book, and it's all about how we human beings have developed from fish. Back in day with dinosaurs and stuff like that. And they're actually finding that there is this bridge between us and fish, and that they found a fish that has the limb structure of us in its fin. So it has like the humerus, the radius, the ulna in its fin. Like, it's amazing. It's so good. It's called You're in a Fish because it's literally going back. So can we please dress up as a fish for 10 minutes? Then we'll dress up as a newt or something like that. Then we can dress up as dinosaurs. And then eventually we will get to the Regency period where we can all be like, hey, my husband. Blah, blah, blah. I think we should do that. That would cover we can be a Cretaceous period and it'd be brilliant. I'm just rambling now.
Why a dinosaur not like a cat?
I don't know. No. Well, maybe cats have come from dinosaurs at some point, haven't they?
Cats come from
I was thinking, what on earth have I signed up to here?
I know. So when we started this, before we press record, we were telling Hannah about how we inevitably always turn into food, like this, talking about food and stuff like that. But she was not prepared for let's all dress up as a fish.
No.
I don't think anyone's ever prepared for that. But I think we know what the podcast title will be now. Let's all dress up as fish with Hannah from Heritage Lincolnshire.
She'll know exactly who we are when we turn up at this reenactment game. We're both dressed up as fish.
And I'll quickly go and hide around the corner.
If we don't make that Facebook post when we come in dressed as fish, then what have we got to do?
Tell you what, that'd make a very good social media post for me, though. Thank you.
These crazy people.
Even better, we'll come as Regency fish. You can be a fish, but you can put your dress on. A fish in a corset. That'd look fantastic.
A fancy fish.
A fancy fish.
Just no words, that really isn't.
I don't know how. Should I apologise for Hannah? She's had a day off work today. It's not really done her very well.
Yeah, no. Sorry, some got to me. Yeah, some got to me. I was digging up my back garden with my toothbrush. That's what got to me. I actually will. I'm coming on this community dig. 100% coming on this community dig.
Well,
I'll get right up my street. I am.
Hannah wishes she hasn't told you about it now.
I know.
I'm not there on the day, so it's fine.
Wise move.
No.
So what else have you got going on in Heritage Links over the... I've shortened your name of your business then, Heritage Links. So you're branding it all. Heritage Lincolnshire.
Well, we've got our digital talk programme still ongoing, so we've got all sorts of things going on. So this month we're talking about Greyfriars, which is in Lincoln. and it's our next our current buildings preservations project. So we've got 4 talks this month about Greyfriars, and then we've got all sorts of different things, craft workshops as well. So we've just done some anthotype, which is photographic process. So those are all digital. So there's loads of different things that are coming on all the time with different digital talks. As I say, we've got Bolingbroke Back in Time. We've got Heritage Open Days in September as well. So keep an eye out, because the brochure is being designed as we speak. And there's over 100 events over the 10-day period that you can go and visit throughout the county, and some digital events as well, which is just really, really exciting. So I've put a few of those up today. So, for example, you can go and visit the Black Sluice pumping station in Boston and see the old 1940s pumps in there. Again, you can have a tour around Greyfriars in Lincoln if you haven't been to that amazing building already. What else have I put on today? I'm trying to think. Can't remember. Oh, we've got the Royal Observer Corps Holbeach bunker as well that'll be opened up as well. So we've got all sorts of things going on for Heritage Open Days. Should be very good.
So I think we asked Charlotte this question, but it'd be interesting to know what your version of it is. What is your favourite hidden treasure in Lincolnshire that people might not know about?
God, there's so many. And I think as a Grantham girl, I've got to say Grantham House, because a lot of people haven't been there.
I've never been.
No, it's opened, and funnily enough, we held an event there a few weeks ago, and it is actually owned by the National Trust. But because they've had private tenants in it for so long, people just don't even know that it's there. I had one person that came along to the event. They'd lived in Grantham all their life. They didn't even know it was there. And it's such a beautiful house, and the gardens in the middle of the town are just stunning. So I would probably have to say that, because I have to big up my hometown as well, because
Absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah, and then there's that many though. I think there is that many that even going to Boston and going to Anderby Creek, that's a beautiful area.
Love Anderby Creek.
Yeah, and so that's another. I think people again don't associate those sorts of places. So there's all sorts, but I've got to say Grantham House, because not many people have actually been inside it. Which is a shame.
Well, I'm going to put that on my list of things to do. Yeah. I guess one final thing as well that we went to ask, and I did prep you for this one, Hannah forgot, and I usually get really wound up about this because they always give me so much flack for forgetting to remind my guests about this question, but I noticed that Hannah dropped the ball and didn't tell you, so I told you today. So this is the same question we ask all our guests. It gives us a really good insight into the person. You don't have to tell us a heritage one. It's not supposed to be based around that. If that's not what you want.
Croft isn't on the list, we're going to be disappointed.
No, it's very much about you and what you're like as a person. It's just interesting. A very random question. If you were to have a dinner party and you can have any 3 people, alive or dead, who would you invite and why?
Yeah, you see, this one made me think, because usually I would go family members, because I'm a very, very close family girl. So my grandpa, who I unfortunately lost when I was just 10, I still call him my guardian angel now. So I would say my grandpa, and my mum is my best friend. Seriously, my mum's hilarious. Love that woman to pieces. And then my other half, because he does throw a cracking house party, he's very good at entertaining. He's in the hospitality industry, so wine is never, not in your glass. The food that he creates is pretty nice. Not very good at the calories, but it's really very nice. So I thought, well, that's probably the main answer for me. But if you want me to
know, because he's just come home.
No, it's not. He's gone back to work again now, so it's fine. I can say whatever I want. But then I did think about, okay, well, that's one version, but my other version, I would have to say, I've got a bit of a thing about Tudor history, so I'd love to have Anne Boleyn there, and also Henry VIII.
Yes.
Yeah, I've really got.
I'm due to both of them at table at same.
Yeah, come on.
This is
atmosphere.
What a firework of a dinner.
Yes.
Who on earth are you putting in the middle of that?
Yeah. See, I wrote down a few other things, because I was like, I would love Anne Frank. I love her diary, and again, the war history does fascinate me. And I've been to the house in Amsterdam, everything like that.
Wow.
But I think I'd feel a bit bad if I stuck her in the middle of those two.
She's been through enough, hasn't she?
To be honest.
Yeah.
But there is a female called Catherine, and I can't remember her surname, that was massive in Lincoln history to do with Lincoln Castle. And I think she would be absolutely phenomenal in the middle of them two, because she was, I think it was around the 15th century. We've done quite a few different talks on her, and I cannot remember. And I know Sharon Connolly, who's the author of a couple of books, she's going to kill me. She's going to be like, Hannah, I've taught you all about this woman and you can't even remember her surname.
What I've done is it added that element of mystery now, so people will have to look her up.
Maybe. So I think I would put her in the middle, because she would be absolutely fantastic, because, as I say, she kind of... Nicola Delahaye, that's it. Nicola Delahaye. I've just Googled it.
Not called Catherine.
Not even a Catherine. Not even a Catherine.
Well, it's a good job you didn't clarify that, because everyone will be Googling Catherine.
Yeah, no, it's Nicola Delahaye. So, yeah, and she basically, woman, actually kept Lincoln Castle at, she protected it from crusades and all sorts of things. And she did that on several occasions until she was around about her 50s. So yeah, I think I'd stick her in, because I think she'd give them a both.
She can hold her own. She sounds like she can hold her own.
So I'd stick her in the middle of those two. But yeah, definitely Anne Boleyn and Henry VIII, because I think that would be
That's a crack. Yeah, that's the kind of dinner party you just want to put the food on the table and just sit back and watch.
Oh yeah.
You did. If Henry VIII's coming though, if all his history is to believe, you're going to need a good spread.
yeah. If anything's to go by, plenty of wine.
A lot of food.
Fabulous. Yeah, that's my other answer. So apologies, I've given you two versions, but yeah.
I like them both. I like them both.
Yeah, I love that.
Amazing. Well, before we let you go, like to give you a last chance to, I guess, push what you wanted to say out, or tell people where to go, or anything like that. So we'll tell people where to go. That sounds like we really
What do you mean?
Where can people go to find out more about what you do?
Brilliant. Well, the website is the best place, I think. So www.heritagelincolnshire.org. Go on there, and any of the social media platforms, just kind of look for Heritage Links or Heritage Lincolnshire. As I say, Facebook, we have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and to be honest, we keep people as up to date as possible on those sorts of platforms, because we have got so much going on. So across those, and obviously the archaeology side is Archaeological Project Services, or APS Archaeology. So again, you can find different bits, but we shared them over on each pages as well. So there's always something on there.
Yeah, and look on a Friday, because then you'll find some delicious, lovely finds. Yeah. Well, thank you very much for having you on. It's been an absolute delight. We always love to hear from you guys from Heritage Lincolnshire, so please do come back in the near future as well, because I imagine you've probably got a lot of wonderful Christmas things coming out later on in the year.
We'll have at that point, yeah. We're just trying to get the summer done first. But yeah, no, we've always got something going on. So yeah, just take a look at the website and stuff, because you never know what you might find.
Ooh. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That was a fantastic interview with Hannah, wasn't it? Yeah. Although that's odd. It's been odd having two Hannahs on there. I thought it was going to be more confusing than it was, but we did manage to navigate that tricky interview.
Well, we are different Hannahs. She's a Hannah H and I'm just a Hannah.
But just before we go today, I just wanted to cap off. It's Sports Day season. Actually, we're putting this out on... There is a week for it. I'm just trying to remember what the word is. National Sports and Schools Week or something like that. That most people are doing their sports days around this week, which has been great. And I went to my son's first sports day, because he missed last year because of COVID. And they managed to get to do it, and they actually managed it so parents could go socially distance and watch as well, which is really good. So that was lovely. I was well surprised though, because as a child I was horrific at sports day. I didn't really get anything. Sports is not my thing. Everyone has to have a thing that they're good at and that isn't good at, and I'm open in the fact that sports has never really been the thing that I've been really good at. I love watching it, I love being involved in it, I love working in it. I just can't play it. I'm just not talented. But everyone can't. I'm an artsy person. That's where my drive is. So like that's which is fine. My daughter was very much the same. And also she's much so we're all small people as well. So when they're this young,
we're all hobbits.
That makes a difference because all the kids have really longer legs. So bless Lydia, she used to be like in a line of people, and they'd be all like double her size, and they'd like zoom like ahead like at speed, and she'd be like last getting all the pity like claps, like well done for carrying on, like. And so I was
taking
fully
part that counts.
Yeah, and so they all get like first, second, and bronze and third stickers as well. And Lydia never really got one, so I always had a backup. Like Mummy thinks you're awesome sticker, ready for her as well. And so I was fully ready to go to Harry's because he's also really tiny, ready to be there to be like, yeah, well done, you really tried. Like I was really proud of you and all the peaches, and he won. He won what? I didn't know what to do with that because my husband is sporty, so obviously he's got that gene. And I've never experienced winning on sports day before, so I'm a little bit worried that I might have shown myself up against the other parents because usually I'm like, oh, aren't they all brilliant? And instead I was like, yeah, my son is the best. Which I wasn't prepared for it.
It took you by surprise, and you turned into that standard soccer mom.
Just straight away. Like, there wasn't like a slow transition. I was there 100%. Like they did the obstacle race first, and he was in the first race, and I was like, and I said to the friend next to me like, oh, he won't win this, bless him, because like it's it's tricky, and they had to go like over a hurdle, which in hurdles apparently my son when they was in the practice went under them and not over them because it was just easier for him. So I was like, and I was like, like camera rolled under them. I was like, I have to, well done, Harry. Like, that's good. But no, he went over the hurdles through the tire thing and then under the camo net, but he was miles ahead of everyone. Like it wasn't even close. Like he came second on that one, but the two like small ones were like, but he was so fast. I was like, and literally because he was miles ahead, I just went to the parent next to me like, oh, he's doing well.
He just turned into absolute high-pitched, only dogs can hear gobbledygook.
She's so excited. I've not had a child be good at sport. So it's like, wow, this is so exciting. And so he came second in the obstacle, second in the running race, which was amazing, and first in the sack race, which is hard.
Yeah, I mean, he's got some good balance. I think he's got some really good skills there, hasn't he? So he's good at running, he's good at ducking and diving. I feel like I'm doing the advert for dodgeball. Dodge, dip, dive and dodge. Like he has all these skills. He's going to be the next Ben Stiller in dodgeball.
He'd be a good actor, to be fair.
There we go.
But it took me by surprise, but I was, all the kids, like going back to my usual thing, all the kids did absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
It's a really nice environment. So there are some kids that struggle with sports day and things like that, and some that were far behind. And the parents were lovely because we know all the kids' names and stuff like that, and we're all cheering them on and stuff, which is really cool. So there was still that element, and I was still doing that. I'm not the worst person in the world. I was still cheering on the other kids because I know what it's like to be that parent. And I was sat with someone whose kids usually win. This child didn't get a sticker as well, and I was like, here's some top tips, get your own stickers.
Have your backup stickers.
Not everyone can be good at the same thing. That's an important lesson I think to teach kids. Not everyone can be and you will excel in something else that someone that the kids that are winning all these races don't excel in. So like it is, we can't all be the best at everything, but I've never had a kid that has that aptitude for sport, so this is interesting.
What a development. I mean, I think Dan, I'm going to be Danny for a second now. Again, I have to throw the Danny comment in there because from a psychological point of view, we study this a lot in sport. In sport and in psychology, and it actually has a term. There is a whole theory about what you've discovered, and you might know Vince Lombardi is sort of came up with, well, if you know the NFL and stuff like that, you'll know who he is. But he came up with something called the Lombardian ethic, which is pretty much the win at all costs ethic in sport. And that's why America do very, very well in sport because they have I bet we've all seen the film, if you ain't first, you're last, like they have very much that opinion. I mean, it's a little bit better now, and it is changing into because we are at the opposite end as Brits. We are at the opposite end of, well done, it's the taking part that counts and all that, and we sit there and we clap and we support you. Well, that's what the Americans think we do anyway.
And we all happy on Sports Day, actually.
It would, and we all know the Queen by first name.
Elizabeth.
But yeah, it is a whole thing. So if you want to know why you were reacting in such a dog pitch way, it's because of the Lombardian ethic and the win at all costs that we do have genetically inherent in us, that we want to win no matter what, or we want our children to win no matter what.
Well, I did have that element as well, because in his race that he came second in, he could have won it, but he was worried about losing his silver sticker from the last race, that he was he kept pausing a bit and tapping it back on his thing mid-race, and I was like, stop touching your sticker and run.
Exactly. You turned into the typical.
So I did turn into that because I suddenly saw his talent and wanted to push it on.
Yeah.
I will learn to rein myself in listening, because I don't want to be that parent that's awful.
Yes, we definitely need a good balance between the English theory of, the taking part does count, and
it does count,
we definitely learn things from just taking part, and it's good to understand how to lose and how to lose well in terms of gamesmanship and sportsmanship. Whereas the American theory has always been win at all costs.
He did lose, or not lose. He was fourth, but he didn't get a sticker for the egg race. And he was not a good loser there, so he does need to learn some things. Exactly. Because he's got a sticker for all the other ones. He was sat queuing up waiting for a sticker, and then didn't get it, and then went over to the table there. They're supposed to take their I came first thing, and went nothing. Ran away. I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
So he does need to learn to lose better.
Yeah, exactly. So I think, and I've always sort of realised that there's a really good saying: there are no mistakes, only lessons. And we do have to remember that no matter what we go through, whether we lose, whether we win, whether it's good, whether it's bad, never see it as a mistake, always see it as a learning curve.
Well, on that note, I think that's a wonderful way to end the podcast. Thanks for your wisdom, as always, Hannah Story.
Oh, thank you very much, my dear.
Thank you for listening to the Lincolnshire Buzzcast. We hope you enjoyed the episode. If you want to get in touch with us about anything that we've discussed today or anything about the podcast, do please message us on social media or by any of the contact details that are in the podcast. If you like this or any other episode of the Lincolnshire Buzzcast, please make sure that you let us know. Either like or subscribe to our channel, and then you'll never miss another notification when we drop a podcast. Thank you.